The door is wide open at the Arnold Wellness International with the Olympia champions sitting this one out. The battle between Alisa, Valkyria, our former Arnold winner, Cassandra Gillis, and Rayane just became the showdown of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Olympia TV. I'm Linda Murray, 8 times Miss Olympia, and joining me, my co-host, Wendy Fortino, IFBB Figure Pro, and she's on her way to Columbus to check out this showdown that's about to go down with the wellness division. And as I said, there's some heavy hitters missing from this lineup, right, Wendy?
There are some heavy hitters missing. I mean, you know, we are looking to see Francielle go back on stage. I saw her and her coach talk about one final dance. So, you know, we're all excited to see her back on stage. You know, we don't have Isa Pereira Nunes up there. And, you know, we don't have our current Olympia champion, right?
Yes, that's right. Eduarda, she's not there. So this is going to be very interesting. So interesting that I know these ladies feel and know how important this is because this plays a role in the judges' mind going forward for our 2026 Olympia.
Absolutely. Yeah, just to kind of list out our lineup first, and then we'll dive right into, we're going to break down each girl. We're going to talk about, you know, our thoughts on each one, maybe get some predictions. We have Rayane Fogle, Alisa Alcantara. We're going to talk about their placings too. These are our heavy hitters. Valkyia Lopez, Raeli Diaz, Camille Loose, Cassandra Gillis, Alexis Drury, Alexis Nicole is what she's known as. Danae. Some of them, their last names, I don't know if they have different last names, and it kind of makes it a little bit confusing sometimes. Leisha Milan, Melissa Andrews. Again, we have there's a funny story about her and her sister changing their last name, and I'll share that.
Because I thought of it as Andrew. It was Andrews, or I know you know the story.
Yeah, I do. Giselle Machado, so stay tuned for that. Isra Santos. And so this is our lineup. And although we are missing some of our heavy hitters, this is going to be a fierce lineup. I mean, we have some girls that maybe their names haven't been at the forefront, but looking at their physiques, I think that they're going to give people a show, and we're going to have some new breakout stars, I think, come out after this weekend.
And this is a real opportunity for ladies when the two current Arnold champions, Ms. Olympia champions, they are not present. Hey, this is their opportunity to showcase their physique and you know, do what we saw with Vanya last year winning the Miss International Bikini. Now we see her as a front runner, right? She's not going to be there this year at the bikini, but that's what happens when the current champions are not present.
Exactly. I know. I like to look at it as a total opportunity also. You know, and it's an opportunity that I think is deserved to be granted, because sometimes you can feel like you get lost in the mix and you know you belong up there. So when you have the opportunity to have that breakout moment, it can really be your time to shine and set the tone for your future placings at the Olympia, at some of these big shows.
Yeah, this is fact. It's fact.
So let's talk about, I would say, our one of our standout stars here in this division coming into the Arnold weekend is Rayane Fogle. And you know, with the girls who won ahead of her at the Olympia out of the equation, she did take 4th place in the Olympia. And her physique, I would say, I think out of the whole lineup, she probably has the most complete package in terms of her overall look and stage presence and her balance and her physique.
Okay. Okay. And you would say her balance and her physique. So looking at the fact that Alisa Alcantara will be competing and she placed third ahead of Rayane, you feel that Rayane has more of a balance, a little bit more balance, even though wellness, we don't usually always
That's,
use that word. So can you
yeah,
explain that?
that's actually a really good point. So balance, you're right. I mean, it could be something that works against her because she is the most balanced. And in wellness, you do want that offset from the lower half to the upper half. But she does have a little bit more of a balance in her physique, right? So she's
Hmm.
got a little bit more upper body to balance out her lower body, but she
Yes.
still does fit into the wellness mold. Um,
Yes. Yes.
yes,
I would agree.
looking at Alisa, you're totally right. I mean, if you notice her upper bodies, she's more narrow. She
Yes.
has a little bit less muscle in her upper body, and her
Yes.
lower body does have a little bit more mass. Whereas, Rayane is a little bit more broad. She has a little bit
Yes.
more upper body muscle. Um, it's hard for me because coming from the figure division, when I see a totally balanced physique, my eyes get so drawn to that.
Yes. Yes.
But the judges are looking at the criteria for each division.
Mhm.
I'm
And
a
she does, and like you said, Rayane does fit into the wellness definition in that when you look at her quad development, her glute development, her hamstring development, in comparison to her upper body,
yeah,
it doesn't. She has a lower body of what we would see on a female bodybuilder, and a female bodybuilder, if she had the upper body that Rayane has, even though we see everything on Rayane in her upper body, her her
yeah,
shoulders, her biceps, her triceps, her development,
right,
she's not as developed as her lower body says,
exactly,
right?
exactly,
Her
right.
upper body does not say what her lower body says, and that's wellness.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be clear. These are the women. I would say all the top 10 women at the Olympia are these are the standard of the division. So if you're
Yes.
anywhere in the top 10 at the Olympia, you are the standard for that division for what the judges are going to be wanting to reward across the board. So we start splitting hairs when we look at the top girls.
Yes. Yes.
I would say between Rayane and Alisa, Alisa
Mhm.
is a little bit more streamlined, right? She has a super tiny waist.
Yes. Yes.
From the side and from the back, you can see her lower back is super, super tiny. She has a really beautiful sweeps in her quads, really pretty
Yes.
eye insertions, and just everything. Gosh, everything's so pretty and so
Everything's
balanced.
so pretty on her. Really, totally.
Yeah.
Yes. And what you say as far as presentation between the two ladies, who do you think rocks the stage better? Could you say? I mean,
That's
I have a clearer picture of Alisa, what she does on stage. And Alisa, she placed third at the Olympia. She was third at the Arnold last year. In 24, she was fourth at the Olympia, and she won Pittsburgh in 2024 and placed second
right.
in New York in 2024. So when I look at
So you
Rayane, actually, this is a big one. Rayane placed second in Pittsburgh in 2025 in comparison to Lisa didn't compete in 2025 in Pittsburgh.
yeah,
She competed in Pittsburgh in 2024 and placed
right.
second. So you hit the nail on the head. It's the judges are going to really be looking at Alisa and Rayane.
Right, right, right. So we have, I mean, let's see. I mean, Alisa has such a beautiful flow. You can actually see, I think, even more in motion how tiny her waist is in comparison to her lower body. And I think it's that contrast that she has with her waist and her lower body that makes her pop so much. And even when she's walking forward, you can see she doesn't have to be in a crazy angle to have a tiny waist. Whereas, a lot of girls are manipulating their physique so much. Um, So now we have Rayane, and Rayane is she's twisting her waist just a little bit more to get that effect. But here's the thing, she's a master of her angles, right? And only a trained eye would really be able to see that, because the way she's angling herself, the way she's posing, and the way she's flowing, she absolutely is completely aware. Her stage IQ is top notch. So in terms of her ability to master her angles and know how much to arch her back and create the angles, perspectively putting her lower body closer to the judges and her waist in the shadows, she knows what she's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And points that you're making here with her presentation, even the fact that from the rear, her hair, when she's straight on to the judges from the rear, her hair hides her waistline in comparison to
Right.
Alisa. When Alisa turns to the rear, her hair is just up just enough where you can really like zoom in and see her tiny waist.
Yeah.
So those things matter too, because
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Absolutely. Yeah, but looking at these two girls, I will say I do think that these are going to be some of our these are going to be in these are first call out girls. They're going to be right next to each other on that stage. Then we have your girl, but you pronounce her name better than me. I'm going to let you do it.
Valkyria, I believe. Valkyria, I
Yes.
believe.
Okay.
Yes. She
It
played
floats
at the Olympia. That's big.
6th place at the Olympia. So here's the thing about Valkyria. She has such a beautiful proportions for wellness. She's got the narrow upper body, tiny waist. She's got, she checks every single box. Here's what I would say. Her lower body is right there. And she's one of the girls who I would say her glutes are almost starting to overpower her lower body, even though everything is like just right now. And I said this about Eduardo also, is that once those glutes start to develop this much, what happens is that mind muscle connection gets so strong that they start responding faster. And I think that's one thing people don't realize about when they start to build and develop a muscle, is that it starts off slow. And then once a muscle is super activated, hyper activated, and it starts to create that, you have that mind muscle connection to the max, it will develop faster and crazier. And we can see she's right there. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I agree with you 100%, because from the rear, I zoom right in at her glutes. We zoom in at all of the ladies' glutes, but her glutes are without question powerful in comparison to her quad sweep and her hamstring development. Different from what we see in Alisa, where Alisa's, her glutes, and then you see that flare in her quads. It's just there's balance. There's more balance, I would say, in Alisa's, and also with Rayane's lower body in comparison to Valkyria.
Right.
Nice little tiny waist from the front. These girls have the angles, like you said, correct. And her physique too would probably be, I think, with her height and the balance that you talked about that we see in Rayane versus the Valkyria, and Rayane would fit more kind of in the same category, would you say? Because I think Alisa is taller.
Yeah, I agree. They have, here's what I love about Valkyria's conditioning. I love that she's not overly sliced and diced, but you can still see every line. I would say that's exactly what the judges want to see in the wellness division. If you were to say, what is the conditioning supposed to look like? It should have a beautiful fullness. You should be able to see the lines, but it should not look super hard with striations and separations. And I think that's one thing in this particular video that we're looking at. She's nailing that conditioning, exactly what the want to see in the wellness division.
And here's something to point out as well with Valkyria, guys. Valkyria beat Rayane Fogle in 2025 at the Pittsburgh. I believe Valkyria, she won Pittsburgh in 2025.
Yeah.
And Rayane, I believe, placed, I'm not sure if she placed second.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's the
Rayane
thing.
placed second.
There you go. Yeah, these girls they're all so close that the placings, it all can change in one show, you know, and they're just all so tight together.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. And again, we know they're going to bring it because I
Yep.
know
Yep.
if I knew that Eduarda, she's not competing, Isa's not competing, I'm
Yeah.
bringing it. I'm
Oh yeah.
bringing it.
Oh yeah. That's a door wide open. That's like my opportunity.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so we have Raeli Diaz.
Mhm. Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful girl. She has a pretty unique look, and I love her overall package. Um, interesting. Okay, we have Valkyria. Okay, glutes are super dominant, and then we have Raeli, who is opposite. Her quads and hamstrings are dominant in her lower body. I would say that she's so beautifully put together that probably if I were to guess that what is keeping her from going from ninth to like getting into that top 5 at the Olympia is probably just a little bit more glute development, you
Yeah,
know, would you
yeah,
say?
yeah. She has a nice flare on her quads. The development in her hamstrings from the rear looks really nice. Her glutes look great. And it's, yeah. And her upper body, she fits definitely into that wellness. Her upper body is not as big or developed as what you would expect to see on a woman with those types of glutes and quads,
Right.
right?
Exactly. Um, and here she is. Let's see. She's kind of part of the video looks like it's kind of cut
Yeah.
off. I believe
Her
she
presentation, let's see here.
So we start part of it looks like it's a little bit cut off, but I will say her come on camera, go to the left. There we go. I would say here she's wearing a blue suit, and then in the photos she is in a red. I would say that the red suits her a little bit better because it's more of a contrast with
Mhm.
her overall skin tone. And I would, you know what's so crazy about red? I feel like red this is like the staple color of wellness.
I
I mean,
agree. Mhm.
and we're going to talk about this with some of the other competitors, but I feel like some of the girls, they want so bad to get a different look because everyone wears red. And as soon as they get a different color, they drop in placing. So then they go back to red. And before you know it, we're going to have the whole lineup in red.
And you know what? Here's a point to make about what you're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
it actually is not so bad. Like if every single girl in wellness showed up with red, well, they actually had that rule in fitness. Remember when they had all the
Yeah.
girls at one time, not in the not posing suits, but they had to wear the same color, that whole black outfit that
Oh,
they
the
wore.
cat
You
suit.
remember that?
Oh, yeah, the cat suit
Remember
days.
that? The cat
Yep.
suit. They had them all wear the same exact cat suit. And it wasn't bad. Like nobody said, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, like I can't pick the best body because they all have on black cat suits.
Yeah,
So
it's
I agree with you.
interesting point. Yeah, like putting everyone on the same playing field. I agree. I think that that's a good way of looking at it,
And it
especially
wouldn't
because
be bad. It wouldn't
it
be bad.
wouldn't be bad, especially
Mm-mm.
since it seems to me that all the girls that look when everyone pops in wellness the most when they wear red. I
Mhm.
mean,
So
it's
what would you
crazy.
say about her in this case with her hair and her back? I noticed
Well,
that because we're picking things apart and I'm
yeah,
looking and I see her straps on her. Does she have white straps on the back? Is that her white straps or is that a mark that was on the photo?
it looks like gems, which is good. I would definitely like clean that up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's a
But
little bit of a distraction already. The fact that her hair is not covering her back more. And then the ladies with the big hair, it's
yeah,
hard for them because
yeah,
her hair is so pretty. It's so beautiful from the front. And we've talked about this with Jordan B that it's so beautiful absolutely from the front. That's your style,
yeah,
that's your vibe. And then to go and try to make it so much longer, it would probably be too much from the rear.
yeah. Um, I think that definitely the only concern here is making sure that the strap is straight and clean,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
luckily for her, she doesn't really have much lat development.
Yep.
She doesn't have any depth or
Yep.
detail showing.
Yep. Right. No
So
detail back there. So that's not distracting her. You're
right.
right. You're
If
right.
she did, which there are some girls who they do gain muscle a lot easier, and if they're showing the detail back here, that's when you'd really have to start to worry. You
Yep.
definitely
I
want to
agree.
cover that. That's from what I'm observing, I think that's what we would.
Yep. You're right. Yep.
But details matter, and cleaning up all the details, when it comes to your suit placement and, all that, super important, right?
Mhm. Yeah. And
Um,
she just turned pro in 2023. So
wow. So
she's new to the game.
she's on the fast track. I
Fast
mean,
track. Placed ninth in the Olympia. Very impressive.
those wellness girls are so fierce. If you're placing the top 10 at the Olympia, I mean, you're in the mix.
You're in the
Like I said,
mix.
I think the top 10 girls are all those are the trendsetters of the division for the whole rest of the year.
I agree.
Speaking of which, we have another judge favorite here. We have Camille Loose, who placed 8th at the Olympia in 2025. She was like, I'm not doing red, I'm doing bright green, and no one's going to tell me otherwise.
Mhm. Yep, and it does. You can see the difference, the contrast between her physique and her suit. So that's a nice color.
I'm here looking her up. So what are your thoughts on her physique?
I think that beautiful physique. She definitely fits into the wellness category for sure. Placing
Yeah.
eighth is no joke. She does not have I'm going to say, thinking about the women like Alisa Alcantara and Rael, looks like she still needs some more, like, I'm going to say development in a way. I'm not going to say necessarily in her quads because she's lean. And so her quads, her glutes from the side, they look good, upper, lower, the tie-in, but she's not, maybe I'm going to say her quads are not as beautiful. Sometimes when you're lean, like
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I see from the rear, it looks really good. Her
Right.
glutes look great. Her quad sweep looks great. The amount of definition that I'm seeing in her hamstrings from the rear, but from
Yeah.
the side pose, you can really see the kind of the striation and the way the muscle looks down the side of the quad in the front, and
Yeah.
also in that leg that's pronounced and sticking out. It's not as the hamstring, not as evident or
Yeah.
clear right there. So this will just be a comparison to the ladies
Right.
that will be on the stage. So
Yeah. I'm seeing so much potential in her physique. I agree with
mhm,
everything you just said. I think that for her moving forward, the way that she trains is going to make such a huge difference in her future. I mean, the thing is that she already has plenty of muscle in her upper body. I would say if she gained any more shoulders, any more arms, that could really throw her off. Um,
yes.
her waist is nice and tight and tiny, so her waist is perfect. Her quads and hamstrings are just right, but they're really lean. So
Mhm,
a little bit of softness right here, but then she
yes.
needs a little bit more calf. So she gets a little more development in her calf, and then she has, the same amount of development in her quads, everything. So everything is there, and her structure is just
Yeah.
like spectacular.
Yeah, her
So,
structure is spectacular comparison to upper body and lower body. Beautiful structure.
I mean, she's got it. She's got it.
Yeah.
She just,
And beautiful from the rear. I love her. And a beautiful girl too. Her face
yeah,
looks healthy.
yeah,
And from the rear, she looks really healthy.
yeah.
Um,
I
yeah,
like that.
because her hamstrings from the rear don't say how defined she looks from the side in that quad
Yeah.
pose, would you say?
I would say totally agree with you. I think she could be one to look out for in the next year or two.
Mhm.
If all goes in the right direction with her training and this is what makes bodybuilding so fun, right? I mean, you have a physique like this, you have everything, all the boxes are checked in terms of what your potential is, and then you get to go to the drawing board, go to these big shows, compete against these girls, and create your body into that champion physique. And she's in that place where she's like got this amazing future and this amazing opportunity. And I
Uh,
think this is what makes the sport so exciting, right?
Will said because she placed 16th in 2024
Oh,
and to
there we
turn
go.
around in 2025 and place 8th
Yeah.
at a show with Eduarda, with Isa, with Alisa Alcantara. That says a whole lot
Oh my gosh,
right
absolutely.
there.
Yep.
Bam, drop the mic.
Mic drop. Camille Loose, you made us mic drop.
Mhm,
Okay, so here's our girl Cassandra Gillis.
mhm. Wow,
Uh,
look at Cassandra.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. You have to
Mhm,
see her in person. She's just so stunning to look at when you see her pose.
mhm.
While you go ahead and go over her physique
So,
all
well, look, Cassandra won this show in 2023. So that was not that long ago. So she knows she can win it. I would say, and in this pick, she placed 12th at the Olympia. But based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like she's a little bit more striated. I see more striation in her because her structure is phenomenal.
yeah.
I love her quads and her hamstrings and the way she looks from the side, phenomenal. She still fits into the category of wellness. Her upper body is right on point. I don't see where she would need to, if she put on anything more in the upper body, she'd be in trouble. But what I'm seeing, what I think is in this case, her leanness, like I can almost see some striations going down from the top of the glute down. So I don't know how that, if I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think her situation is because she has been at it for so long, she has a lot of muscle maturity. And when you have so much muscle maturity, you could get really hard really fast. Um,
Because she's hard here.
Maintaining the softness on top of all that development is going to be that's going to be her equation
Mm,
that gets her to the promised land,
yep, yep, yep.
And
And people don't understand the balance that these ladies have to play. Because look how sharp her tie-in is in
right.
comparison to, yeah.
So let's see. She has some highlights here. I'm trying to look for her just doing her posing routine on her Instagram. Um and I haven't found that, but I have found some highlights of her. Here's her winning the Arnold. Is that
Okay.
is that showing up?
Yep, it is. Looks great.
So
Yeah. That's a huge title to capture the Arnold Wellness
yeah.
International. And
Yeah.
it was only what, 2 years ago,
Yeah,
20
exactly.
2023.
Yep. And you could see even like her standing there, her legs were a little bit softer. She has the development, but I think Cassandra, she has the winning body. If
Mm,
she comes in with, the perfect balance of development and conditioning, I think she's going to be one that can really give the rest of the girls a run for their money. I think she's kind of like our dark horse right now. She's put
yeah,
herself into dark horse territory by placing a little bit lower at the Olympia. And so she's not really on people's radar like maybe she should be. But I do think she is somebody that we should be thinking about to look out
absolutely.
for.
Because when you say that conditioning, that's easy to, it's not easy, but to pull back, like
Yeah.
to not be as conditioned is a lot easier
Yeah.
than, yeah.
Yep.
For some women who have to go in and try to make a body part more conditioned, and in that case, then something else is leaner and not as beautiful. So I think it's
Yeah.
just a little fine tuning that's really
Yeah.
amazing.
They all have
Yeah.
their own challenges, right? I would say if I were to pick, okay, Linda, this is a question for both of us.
Mhm.
So if I were to pick, if I had an issue that I had to deal with, would I rather have the issue of needing to build more muscle in order to be successful in division, or being so developed that my biggest issue is I come in so developed and so hard, I have to find the balance and soften my physique just a little bit so that I can be on point? Like, which one of those would you rather have?
Softening my physique, I think.
Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because with women and with all bodybuilders, um, trying to, I mean, yes, we know how to isolate and if you need more shoulders or you need more glutes, but like in the case with the women in wellness, if you need
Yeah.
more glutes, we know that they can isolate the
Yeah.
glute training, but it depends on what body part needs to be bigger or better,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Because how wouldn't it be hard to like make your quads so much better, to put size on your quads and then you have these incredible glutes and not, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, being softer would be easier, I would
And
say.
that's what Cassandra's gotta, I mean, that's what that's her thing. So if that's what you have to work on, I would say that's a good place to be, you know?
I
Um,
agree.
so she's in a good place. I think she's their
She
dark horse
is.
for the Arnold,
Yeah, she
potentially the
is.
title.
Yeah,
So
she's won the title. She's won it.
no one's hungrier than the girl who comes in with the title in their
Hmm.
back pocket, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I think she has some stuff to prove too because she placed 12th at the
Yep.
Olympia, and the girls competing in 2025 at the Olympia, Alisa, Rayane, Valkyria, Camille, and Raeli, they actually placed higher than her.
Yeah.
They're competing here. They're all going to meet again. So she's got something to prove
Yep.
because you guys beat her at the
Yep.
Olympia and she's coming back and she's going to regain, like, because 12th,
Yeah.
I'm not used to hearing her be, seeing her in 12th position. Mhm.
Yeah, it's a little bit, we didn't expect her there, but I think that's why she's coming back. She's got the champion mindset, you know.
Yeah.
Uh speaking of champion mindset, let's talk about Alexis, Nicole.
Yes.
Uh
Drury.
she's a I remember her Arnold debut was when her name first kind of came onto the scene for me. I mean, she had just got her pro card, she got an invite to the Arnold, and then she walked on that stage and everybody's like, "Who is this?" Her
Mhm.
conditioning was perfect, she was spot on, she looked incredible, and I think she was like in that first call out, she placed 5th or 6th in her first Arnold, and it was right when the division was starting to take off, and so she's had a little bit of like some rough patches where we haven't really seen her high in the placings, but she knows what it's like to be in the top and she's got what it takes. So I'm going to be really interested to see what she does bring to the Arnold this year.
Mhm. Yeah, and she started out in bikini, I believe, like back in
Okay.
maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I'm not sure if she turned pro in bikini or turned pro in wellness.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you can see the level of development, muscular development, in comparison to the previous women
Yeah.
that have more experience. She still has room to grow, right? I
Yep.
mean, yeah, she fits into the wellness category. Look at her upper body, the size of her, her upper body, her lower body's definitely more pronounced
Yeah.
than her lower body than her upper body.
Right. Now
Hmm.
she's one of the athletes who she's younger, so her skin and her muscles are naturally going to look a little bit softer. So this is a huge advantage that she has is her youthfulness, and so she can actually afford, I think, to come in a little bit tighter. a little bit harder. And
Yeah,
that's where she's going to find her sweet spot, is when she tightens up a little bit overall over her whole physique. And I think because she's still so young, she's still going to be able to maintain that softness. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with you because that plays a major role. You see
Yeah.
the glute popping from the front when she hits that front pose.
Yeah.
She can be get tighter from the rear because her tie-ins are not as pronounced as we see in the women that have more experience. And placing 13th at the Olympia,
That's
not bad.
That is awesome. I mean, that's an
Mhm.
awesome placing.
It
Even though
is.
she's somebody who she's seen herself up in higher placing. So, she'll be hungry for that. I'm excited to see what she brings to the stage. She could
I
be a
am
wow
too.
factor that we're another dark horse that we're not thinking, and could just come out and be in that first call out, and everybody's going to see her back on that scene in that first lineup. So, she's another one, can't wait to see what she brings.
Yep, yep. Excited about that. Welcome.
All right. Danae.
Mhm.
Okay.
Danae has a lot of she's been at the Olympia at least for sure 3 times qualifying for that Olympia.
So
It's 14th.
yeah, 14th. Okay. Here's the thing with her physique, and this is for better or for worse. Her physique is so perfectly put together. And in a division where you want an imbalance from upper and lower, that's the thing with her, is look how beautiful her shoulder width is to her waist, to her lower body. I mean, this is like almost like a perfectly symmetrical hourglass. And
Mm.
ironically, the girls that are placing ahead of her, the only difference is they've got more narrow shoulders, more narrow in the upper body. And so, huge fan of this physique though, right?
Yeah, because I like what you pointed out about her shoulders from the rear. That's one of the first things outside of looking at her glutes and her quad sweep. I look at her, immediately saw her upper body when we don't really pay a lot of attention to their upper body, but you're right. She's broader and not as narrow, but even still, her upper body is out of balance in comparison to what her glutes and her quads, right? Because
Right,
it's
right,
like you
right.
said, she's still narrow. That hourglass, that Coca-Cola bottle,
So
narrow at the
pretty.
top and flaring down, is there.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's so beautiful. And then also she's somebody who really comes alive in her posing. I'm pulling up her posing on stage right now, and you'll see how when she when she moves, she has that like sexy, sultry, movement.
Mhm.
She knows how to angle her body. She knows how to pop her hips. She knows how to transition and isolate her lower back and her lower body. And when you watch an athlete like this move on stage, you can't take your eyes off of her, right?
Mhm. 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 Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
there,
Because it does. It makes a huge difference.
yeah,
Yeah. Really does when you see them move in
yeah,
comparison to stills. And sometimes, and I say this to athletes, when we're out there looking for the images of the athletes to present to the audience, um, you can almost tell in the stills the ones that really have it down because
yeah,
the the photographer is not going to capture them in a bad
yeah.
pose or bad presentation. And sometimes you know, I'll see that. So, but it is really nice. It's a big difference. And you get to be there, Wendy, and see all of this in person.
I know. I like it. The in person, it's always so much different, even than watching a video or watching photos. Because you really sometimes you don't know necessarily when you're looking at photos, like why this girl and not that girl. But when you see it in person, you can really see the fullness and the muscles pop and the sheen and all the 3D components that you get in person that you just can't get through a screen. And she's one of them. She's got to the point. I want to bring up the posing situation. If you notice the way that she's like cranking, and Rayane is really good at this too. The way that they're cranking their lower back and they know to keep their glutes raised and popped that whole time. There are girls I would be willing to bet at the amateur level, national level, and even at the pro level, maybe not placing up in the top, who may even have more superior physiques than these girls. But if they don't have that control and the ability to angle and pose and lift the glutes at every single moment, making every moment an opportunity, that is where you see the cream rise to the top. It's not always just the best physiques. It's like the whole package, the way they're posing, presenting, angling, controlling. And this, she is the perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Yep, I agree. I agree 100%. It's everything, a presentation, everything.
What a gorgeous physique she has.
Yeah, I love it. Love her color.
We have our Arnold Amateur Champion. We talked about this. The Arnold Amateur Champion gets the invite if they apply to the Arnold. And what a way to start your pro career, right?
Right. This is her pro debut.
Yep.
Her pro debut. And she's on the stage with some of the best wellness pros in the world. So,
yeah.
What an opportunity.
It is an opportunity. And I think with a champion mindset, the way to go into an experience like this is you're going to see where you stack up, and wherever that is, you have an opportunity to genuinely, because what do we do whenever we're amateurs? We take our photo and we splice it next to like Miss Olympia, and it's not that much different, right? But when you were actually right?
Yes.
When you're standing on that stage side by side, you are literally able to compare in real time what that actually looks like. And there's no greater opportunity to go back to the drawing board and to make all the adjustments and start working on the things than being able to actually stand next to the girls that are the best in the world, right?
Yeah. So what an opportunity for Leisha.
Yeah.
What an opportunity.
Truly. She's beautiful. And if she's early in her career, she's already got her pro card. She's already got the invite to the Arnold. This is somebody who has a very bright future ahead of her.
Yeah. And it's not easy to win the Arnold Amateur, guys.
Right.
The numbers of competitors across the world, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no restriction. I'm sure the numbers were definitely greater than the, what do we have, 12 or 13 competitors here?
Yeah.
So impressive. She turned pro at the Arnold. That says a lot.
Yeah. When you turn pro at a show like that, you feel like a pro coming out with your pro card, if that makes sense.
It does. You're right.
I mean, and not to diminish the accomplishment of any pro card, but there's definitely a variance in difficulty in acquiring your pro card at different contests. And I think that we all it's like the unspoken knowledge that I think we all have, whether you have a pro card or you don't have a pro card. I think we all can agree that there are absolutely certain shows and certain ways to get your pro card that make it more prestigious.
Yes.
This being one of them, getting your pro card by winning the overall at the Arnold Amateur in a show that welcomes athletes from all over the world, and only one person gets their pro card. That's a legit pro card,
That's a legit pro card. I agree with you 100%. Congratulations.
Yeah. Good job, Leisha. We can't wait to see what you bring.
I know.
Yeah. We've got Marissa Andrews. She is the last name, I had Marissa and Sunny on my show one time. I was interviewing them both at the same time, and I was confused because they had Andrews. I'm like, what's going on? And I guess that there was something to do with Sunny had somebody that was, following her, and I don't know if it was like a stalker or something like that. And she decided to change her name because she was trying to like fend something off, and they ended up kind of sticking to it, and both of them changed their name. And it was really funny story. I mean, you'd probably have to hear them tell it because they both have the funniest personality, especially when they're together. But it's just kind of a cute story, something along those lines. But they both changed it, and they're both Andrews now. And so I just thought that was kind of cute.
Wow.
But yeah, no, Marissa is. I do have her here. We do have her in her last Olympia appearance was 13th. However, what I don't have up here is she has placed as high as 7th at the Olympia.
Mhm.
I believe in her first Olympia it was either 22 or 23 where she placed 7th, and she knows what it's like to be in the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I believe the wellness division was first officially introduced to the Olympia in 2020. I
Yep.
think that's when. So it's been around some time. When she competed in 23, um, it wasn't easy
Yep.
by that time. Yeah, nice, nice glutes. Um, her right quad that looks really good. At the image, the backdrop is probably not helping as much. Um, but she really does. There's balance. I love her calves, her quads in comparison. Like her lower body from the rear
Yeah.
looks really good to me.
Yep. Yep.
And she fits into the wellness category for sure. Look at the upper body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And she knows
small waist to the side.
I'm looking for a really good video of her doing her posing. So Marissa, I would say she's another one who knows her angles. She knows how to pose. She knows how to crank her waist. She knows how to get her angle just right. She doesn't have one of the, super duper tiny waists, but she knows how to angle it so that it looks super tiny. See how she's really
Yes.
cranking the waist into the back corner. She's popping her glutes really, really well. She's in control of her midsection the whole time.
Mhm.
That's one thing that I've always been really impressed with when I watch Marissa on stage is how she knows how to take the physique that she has and
Mhm.
not only have it look beautiful when she's just standing there, but when she manipulates it through posing, she takes her physique from amazing to just exceptional. Just
Yeah,
from
and I love that you found the images with the video with her moving because to see her skin is beautiful. She looks relaxed on stage,
yeah,
and from the rear, I think the photos that we have of her they're not showing her physique as well as we just saw there.
I agree. That's why, sometimes seeing the girls in motion really can
Mhm.
make a difference, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
all right. So we have our beauty Giselle Machado. Um,
Yes,
I am such a fan.
powerhouse,
Oh,
powerhouse.
I mean, to say that I'm a fan of her physique is a understatement. It's like her physique, her vibe, the energy that she puts on stage, the love that she has for the sport. Everything when she goes on stage is projected, I feel like. Um, I think it was hard for her to drop 24 from 24 to 25. She went from 5th place to 15th place. So let's talk a little bit about that and some of the changes she made immediately after she got off that Olympia stage.
Yeah, yeah, because I think we interviewed her just before the Olympia. She's
Exactly.
very confident, and we were surprised that she wasn't in that first call out at the Olympia. So
Right.
you tell me what you see or what you think. What the reason
Well,
for that?
here's the thing that's crazy. And we talked about this and I think she agrees because she went to the Olympia with a totally different look. We were used to seeing Giselle, and I know it seems so silly
With
to
a
think
red suit, right?
we're used to seeing Giselle with her hair a little bit darker and with the red suit and whatever that combination that she normally comes on stage with it just is so vibrant and she pops so much. And it's like when you find your look, I think it's hard because, a lot of the top girls have that same overall, like, kind of put together, right? So she came on stage, she had a silver suit, made her hair blonder, even though it was stunning, it didn't make her stand out as much, right? And I honestly think that that's what it was. I really do.
I yeah, yeah,
Her
yeah,
physique
I agree.
was
Her hair is beautiful,
phenomenal.
the suit's beautiful, but it is a big change from
Yeah.
her hair coloring and the suit that she wore the year before. And it makes a difference, guys. I mean, when you're at the Olympia and you're looking at the best in the world,
Yeah.
it's about that presentation, being able to present. And yeah, she was not in that first call out. Matter of fact, looking at the lineup that she's up against, and she has a lot to prove. And
Yeah.
I know she's good. I know she talked to Sandy. I
Yeah.
know she knows what they suggested, what they
Right.
told her she needs to do. I know she had, because,
Yeah.
you don't go from fifth place to
Yeah.
15th. Um,
Well, and then here she was. This is her fifth place showing. And as you can see, I mean, I would wager that she made even a couple of improvements in the 2025 Olympia from the 2024.
yeah, her
But
physique. Yeah.
physique wise, I think she's actually in a better place. So that's the good news, right? The overall look though that she brought to the 2024 is her winning look. So I believe if she comes in with that phenomenal physique she has, she's got everything going for her. If she nails the overall look, I think she's another dark horse, I guess you could call it, to take that title also.
Mhm. Yeah, because guys, to know her history, in 2023, she won both Pittsburgh and New York. And in 2024, she won New York, placing first and then placing second. So
Yep.
she's always been a heavy hitter. And she just has to make those changes, like you
Right.
said. I mean,
And here was her fifth place finish right here. So gosh, she's just got it all, right? She's got
yeah.
the beauty, she's got the flow. I mean, her physique is stunning. Nice tiny waist. I think just the right amount of lower body development. She's definitely one to look for
Because
sure.
I think, here's the thing with uh white a silver suit and with bright hair. Look, you don't want your suit to come out on the stage before you, and you don't want your hair to come out on the stage before you.
Right.
It should all blend, like it should flow. And
Yeah.
here, what we're seeing is flowing, right? I'm
Yep.
not looking at her suit and going, "Oh, look at this." Like I didn't look at it, but right there, it's the suit is there,
Yeah.
and then there's her body, and she
Yeah.
has this really deep tan. So it may have looked really good, like up close and personal, but when you're on stage under the bright lights, and now you're up there against Eduarda and Isa, it's just a different story. So if it's
Yeah.
not broken, don't fix it, guys. Um,
I mean, she has a winning formula. She's already proven winning formula. So let's go, Giselle. Can't wait to see what you
yeah,
what
I know. Looking forward to it. We have some great names, and then our last one here, um,
yep.
Ismera
Isla
Santos.
Santos, yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
16th place. Look at those. Look at her. Look at that sharp
Oh yeah.
Christmas in her and
Yeah.
her glutes at tie-ins. Wow.
Yeah, she's impressive.
Hmm.
Her body, her overall body is absolutely stunning. I think she has one of the ones that has a little bit more of the upper body development. So I love that. I'm a
Hmm.
huge fan. I love the balance. Um she does offset it though because she has a lot of development in the lower part of her body. Um insertions can be a thing too, and she does have these really low insertions in her glutes.
Really low insertions, yeah.
So if she develops her glutes anymore, that could kind of throw her off a little bit. So
I agree.
she's right there. I think with her physique, she comes in just making sure she nails that softness and doesn't come in too hard. She's super stunning. She's gonna be one that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, yep, for sure. For sure. Conditioning is on point.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys, it's a great lineup. Something to look forward to. I mean, this is an invitational, but Arnold did a great job of inviting these ladies, and it's going to be exciting to see who rises to the top with our two Ms. Olympia champions not there, without, you know, the Arnold champion not there. This is going to be exciting.
It's going to be so exciting. I know.
Yeah.
I know. This has been fun going through all the ladies with you. And I want to point out that anyone who gets an invite to the Arnold is already the best in the world. So, you know, hearing us go through our critiques we're talking about the best of the best on that stage. So any amateurs watching, anyone following along should absolutely look at these ladies as the ones that are setting the standard and the tone for the division. And so if you're looking at what are the judges going for, I would say any of these ladies is right on point with where you should be striving for.
Yep. So guys, let us know who you think's going to win the Arnold Wellness International. And we'll see Wendy in Columbus. We'll see you guys there. And thank you for joining Film Flex Friday. We love you. Peace.
Bye.